Hello. Hello, everyone. Guess what? We're gonna finish Day of the Tentacle. I'm kind of sleepy. This ain't gonna take too long. But you know what I'm gonna do first? I've made it a theme. If you're here, and just to stick with the, I don't know if anybody's here. It might just be you and me. I gotta stick with the theme. Every single time I've started the game, every time, I have bored you all by obsessing over one puzzle. So I'm gonna keep that up. I'm gonna go obsess over that same puzzle again. That's right. You know the one.
Is it the puzzle of life?
No. It's the puzzle up here with the keys on the back of the door. I've talked about this literally every single time I've played. So, because this is the thing. I've made it clear, in my estimation, this is not a good puzzle. The fact that the keys are on the back of the door, and you have to pick them up from here, I am kind of against it because, as I said, you can see them here, kind of. But it's essentially pixel hunting. It doesn't even highlight. It's pixel hunting with your eyes, which is not fun. Beyond that, to my mind, unless you can kind of count that you can see it, but I almost think nobody sees that. In which case, to me, this essentially means you have to go around closing every door in the game, in theory, to think, oh, maybe there's something on the back of the doors. And that's not fun either. So, I've changed my mind a little bit. I said before, the excuse I give this puzzle is that you can right-click.
There's a whole lot of keys on here
to open and close doors. And so you might just find it, because it's so easy to open and close doors, you might just wander around doing that kind of on a whim. Maybe you'll find it. I don't know. But today I spoke to my friend James, who obsesses about this sort of thing as much as I do, if not more. And he was more charitable to this puzzle, because his thought was, if you notice, when you go, it's almost a little hint in itself, that when you go into doors, the fact that you can open and close them, the fact that you have to open them, it's not, you can't just click and go through, except in Laverne's time, where they're all future doors. So he said that in itself is a little hint. Fine. To me, it's also, in concept, I kind of like this kind of puzzle. I like a puzzle that works on some level of real-world logic, which is people sometimes leave their keys there. You know, that's fine, and it makes you feel kind of clever to figure that out. But I also think, is this the game to put it in? You know, this game functions almost exclusively on cartoonish logic. So, maybe in Gabriel Knight or something, keys on a door. You know, as it is, I just don't, I know I'm looking for keys because there's the guy with the car outside. I'm assuming I'm looking for keys, but then again, maybe not, because, you know, there are weird solutions to a lot of things. My issue is still, I don't know. It's an okay thing. Much worse, far worse puzzles have happened in adventure gaming, by far. Again, this is a very good adventure game for the most part. But my issue is this. You're going around opening and closing doors. For one thing, I don't think it's much of a hint. If I'm not mistaken, many LucasArts games, you can go around opening and closing all the doors. I think you can do that in Sam & Max. You can open and close all the doors. There's never anything on them. So if you were a LucasArts veteran, if you're an aficionado of LucasArts games, opening and closing doors all the time, you're probably never going to go, oh, I have to close one, right? My other thought is, it might be, this is the biggest issue of it. It's amazing I've been talking about this so long. This is the biggest issue of it for me. Once you get down to the technical aspects of this whole puzzle, how this puzzle works and so forth, at the end of the day, the big issue of it is, was it fun? Was this fun to figure out? Like an example I gave is that new game, Life is Strange, which I think is terribly overrated. Life is Strange puts the decision stuff, the choices you can make, the moral decisions, like in The Walking Dead or any of the other new Telltale games. But it's to remove the element of chance that makes you lose the game instantly if you choose the wrong choice. They have given you the ability to rewind time. But you can see what happens, rewind time, try it the other way. To my mind, though, what they've essentially done is made an in-game mechanic for the function of saving and loading a game, right? And is that fucking fun? Not usually. It's sort of annoying. It's a hassle. And just because it's you hold a button and do it, I don't know what's so good about it. So that's what I'm saying. If you come down to it and you go, yes, technically you've solved one issue. You've made it so that you've gotten rid of the unfairness of choosing an option and getting screwed for it. But is it fun now? I don't know if it's fun now. I don't think it is. And this is my issue with this key thing. Even if you added some detail on the keys so you could see the keys better, then you just see the keys. Does it even count as a puzzle anymore? I don't know. I just saw the keys and now I pick them up. Why not just put them out here? I think it's important to have a few objects in the game you can just pick up that are just gimmies. Makes it a little, so everything doesn't feel like you're bashing your head against it. Same with like the bucket of paint. You just pick that up, So my concern here then is this is the kind of thing James was arguing where you could find it and you could go, oh, that does make sense. I just solved that puzzle and it felt kind of good to solve that puzzle. You could argue that's possible. To me, though, this puzzle, I don't remember how I felt when I found this puzzle. I don't know if I feel like there's two major scenarios, and anybody can tell me if I'm wrong, although nobody's here today, so nobody's going to tell me. You're here? Kieran's here. Type something cool into the chat. Yes! Oh, this is great. Kieran says, bravo, bravo, encore. So these are the two scenarios I'm thinking of. I'm going to just keep talking about this because there ain't nobody here. The two that I think of, one, you do kind of just go around opening and closing doors all the time. You find the keys by accident and you go, oh, nice. And you're kind of happy about it. But you didn't, spend loads of time going, where the hell are these keys or anything. The other scenario to me is that you have no idea that that's there, and when you find it, you get mad, because I still don't think it's that intuitive. I still think it's a little too obscure and lame, and I think you close the door, and you go, what, the keys are there, and you go, god damn it, and that's not, when puzzles end up like that, you're mad, then that didn't go well, right? Then that wasn't a fun designed puzzle. The other thing, too, especially if you haven't seen this in forever and you grab the keys, you close the door and grab the keys, and then let's say you get stuck again. Now your next thought is, oh shit, do I have to go around opening and closing doors this whole game? Right? Because you think maybe because you'll try everything in an adventure game. So then that's lame too, because doors aren't fun. There's nothing fun about going around opening and closing doors. A little bit in this game because it's such a simple action. Hooray! But I don't know. I have thought of the way I would find this to be a positive scenario would be if you went in here first. Because if you went in here first and you happen to close the door, you can kind of argue that some of the doors have fun little, quote-unquote, I don't know, Easter eggs. This one happens to have a metal poster on it. And you go, oh, cool. And then maybe once you've learned, oh, there's stuff on back of doors, if you learn it from here, you're not even thinking about it in terms of puzzles. You're just saying, oh, cool, they add details on the back of the door. What a nice extra level of detail. And then because you think that's cool, you're going around closing doors. You find this one, you go, holy shit, I solved a puzzle from doing this. This is the positive version of this. But it's the only version I see. And I think more often you're going to fall into the other ones. I think more people are going to go, what the fuck, there were keys there, that's bullshit. Or, oh, I found that really easily, nice. And you don't even realize it was like a hard thing, and you did it so quickly that it barely felt satisfying. Ha! That's my thoughts on the keys. If I were doing it, I don't think they're horrible, but if I were designing this, I think I would probably weigh the pros and cons. I'd weigh the pros and cons, and I would probably say, let's get rid of this puzzle. Let's just put the keys on the nightstand or something. I think that's what I would do. Thank you. I'll see you next time. I'm just kidding. Hello. I wonder... Wow. Well, this is disappointing because this is the end. All alone. I just kicked my friends out who were here. Well, my friend and his friend. They were gonna come. They came to hang out, and I was like, it's too awkward for me to do this in front of you, so you have to leave. Kieran, I don't care about. I'll do anything. I'll take a poo right on his couch. So.
Not on my couch.
Is what that kid would say. The other thing, before I win the game, I'm not sure if I have a save I can demonstrate this. Maybe not, which is okay if I don't. How many dimes do I have? Oh, I have both. Then I can demonstrate this. I was also claiming with this part, and this, nobody's disagreed with me, and they shouldn't, because they'd be wrong. When you get this sweater... and I do want to say too, the thing with the keys, I recognize, well, like anything, any of the puzzles, I recognize that a lot of this stuff I'm saying like, hey, this stuff needs to be more signposted or more fair, it's something like that. But I recognize you get to the point where you're not making puzzles, and I don't want that either. And that's the balance that's very difficult to achieve. But as I said, there should be some gimmies in it. This game mostly does a really good job of not saying to you, this is the solution. It just keeps hinting. I mean, the fact that Dead Cousin Ted's there the whole time to kind of remind you of what you still have to do and give you a few hints, I think that's great. I especially like that, and this is really subtle, a subtle difference, but I've played games like Simon the Sorcerer has an owl who does it. He's obscures the hints because he tells you stuff that's bullshit, but then he also says stuff that actually is hints in the game. But I actually really like that there is a character that you go to who doesn't just... They're just an in-game hint system, effectively. When you talk to someone, they give you hints about the game. Dead Cousin Ted's the same thing. The subtle, and this is a very subtle difference, but the fact of the matter is you're not talking to anybody because he's dead. They're talking to themselves. They're working out the thoughts themselves in their head. I know it's basically the same concept, but to me... I don't know. There's a little bit of a difference with when a game's telling you what to do or not telling you enough. Both experiences will take you out of the game, right? Because you're either so frustrated you're not even thinking about it in terms of... I mean, the best adventure games to me are you are part of the story and everything you do is furthering the story. So the moment you're super, super stuck and you're like mad at the game and you feel like it was unfair and the developers didn't tell you enough... I think that takes you out of you're not part of the story anymore. The developer made a story not for you. It was for him, or her, Roberta Williams. But when they tell you too much, again, you imagine the frickin' developer like over your shoulder pointing at what to do. Dead Cousin Ted, to me, that's just a subtle, subtle thing. The fact that nobody's outright telling you the hints. You're just kind of working them out. You considering these are your surrogates. These are your avatars within the game world. It's you, technically. You're Bernard, you're Laverne, you're Hoagie. So it's you figuring these out together. You are choosing the dialogue options of them going, maybe I could do this, so forth. I think that's amazing. So, I recognize that stuff's hard. It's a hard balance. But my issue with this one is when you pick it up, he says, ew, it's soaking wet. And the thing you have to do with this sweater is you have to put it in the dryer. Now, I'm going to try something. Let's see what happens.
Ew, up too late.
Yes, I did it.
Fickle fingers. Stick in a dime.
So what I wanted to show there is I said pick up the sweater, and then I happened to, I did it on purpose, but I happened to right click on this, which made him look at this. It's really easy to do that in adventure games. I've done that many, many times where you cut off what they're saying by accident because you click too quickly on something else. They've messed up there by not making it clear this is wet all the time. Now he just says, my grandma gave me this.
For my birthday.
That's no good. Right? You need to.
Wrong size.
Oh. What if I put it
I
in the
don't think I
toilet?
can put that
Oh,
in the car,
alright.
John.
You need to remind me that it's wet, because if I don't play, if I take a break now and I don't come back to the game for a day or something, I might not remember it's wet, you know. And the fact of the matter is, I might have never seen that. If I didn't catch him saying, ew, it's soaking wet, especially if I didn't have the text on, I would have just heard ew, and then I clicked by accident. Anything could happen that you fuck up. Maybe 9/11 happens while you're picking up the shirt, right? And then, are you going to focus on the shirt, or are you going to focus on 9/11? If you're a real gamer, you focus on the shirt. But everyone else, and that's, you know, that's we'll focus on the 9/11 that's happening. So there are all these possibilities, and there's so many reasons I think the sweater, you need to, these are the
My
things you have to
grandma
remember to
gave me one
keep
like
the
this for
hints
my
in.
birthday.
So this is one of the mistakes they made. I doubt this very much. As I said, Ted is there to remind you of stuff, but I think only on a grander level. I don't think you're going to be able to say, I wonder what I can do with this sweater. I'm testing it, but I don't think so.
Hey, Ted.
I very much doubt.
Boy,
I'm just going to skip this stuff.
Boy,
I don't think there's anything of the nature. No.
I mean,
Yeah, like these are all just grand scheme things.
well,
Yeah. So that's the kind of thing you need to. This definitely needs to be signposted, because then you could argue that, oh, well, you might put a sweater in the dryer, it's a piece of clothing, but that's shitty logic. That's logic that comes down to, because you don't just put random clothes in the dryer. They gotta be wet. That's logic that comes down to the kind of logic King's Quest V wants you to have. And King's Quest V does not have logic. King's Quest V is insane. King's Quest V wants you to go, I have a golden needle. Oh, there's a tailor in town. He must want that. Which isn't really a puzzle solution. He never says, I lost the gold needle. He never says, my needle sucks. I need a fancier one. There's no, oh, he must want a needle. It's like going and the toy store guy who you bring a marionette to. He doesn't say, I am wanting for toys. I'm missing too many. Who goes to a store and offers the person at the store the thing they're selling? It's that kind of logic. It's bullshit. Clothes equals dryer. Not necessarily. So, alright. That's all I wanted to say. I did want to load one more game just to, oh my god, the alley, you guys? I wanted to see I never noticed, as I said, I found this yesterday, that when you walk, it adds a little beat to your walk. I just want to hear it in these guys' times, because I totally never noticed this. It happens in Bernard's time.
That's ally.
Ally? So we've got this music. Did they add anything to Hoagies? Is it that little... I guess it adds another tone. It's a little harder to tell in Hoagies.
It doesn't.
Does it add anything? It probably does, because... I don't know. Because Bernard's, it's really obvious. Because Bernard, you hear nothing.
Your clicking, by the way, is very loud.
Oh, it's very loud. Yeah, you can totally hear the drum when Bernard walks the little hi-hat. Very neat.
Why do you keep clicking like that? Why don't you just click at like a far distance?
You're being a jerk. I don't know. I thought it'd be really obvious, but it's only obvious in Bernard's time. I have no idea.
I didn't even hear it in Bernard's
Maybe it's not. It's there. Listen,
Go back.
there's no Bernard. There's just regular music. Hold on, we have to wait for this thing.
Oh, there we go. I heard that.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that was in that was Laverne's time.
Laverne's, I can't. I don't know if that. I think that might always be there. There's a hi-hat. Oh, you know what? I think it's always there and it just gets louder when you walk. Yeah, I think that's all it is. Alright. Well, I'm beating the game. I'm beating the game.
It's no peckish.
Nobody cares about beating the game. I'm very upset. Alright. Time to find the keys. Alright. Now, I know there's a limit to where you can go.
That buzzing fluorescent light makes the beef jerky
Oh.
look especially...
Aha!
Uh-oh.
Take that. And this. Drat.
Beat the game.
How can it possibly continue to thwart me?
What happens if you try to go past him
Blasted,
here?
useless. Aha!
Ah.
Uh-oh.
Take that. Drat.
So you can't walk past him. There's no mouse hole here, right? You just have to wait for it to wear off. I don't think you can take the stairs.
We're too small to
Yeah.
use the stairs.
So I think you just have to go in here. Or no.
Aha!
Oh,
Uh-oh.
that's fine.
Take that. And this. Drat.
By the way, I wonder about the doors. They have letters on them.
Yeah, I don't know what the letters stand for.
Washington, Franklin. I don't know what the R was for.
Is that what it would be?
Maybe.
And then there's mouse holes. This is pretty easy, I think, because...
Uh-oh. This looks like it might work. Neat.
Oh, I don't know. This part, you know, the benefit of the ending sequence is that what you can do is so limited. So, I think you might eventually get the bowling ball.
Neat.
You can do this, can't you?
Wow. This is loud. No time for that now.
So does that mean you could just leave this on for the end of the game? Probably. That's kind
Phew.
of ridiculous. Then you get an achievement, of course.
Hey. Where'd he go?
You're not supposed to go this way at all. There's like nothing to do. I don't remember being able to do all this. Oh, the hamster's back. Wait, what? Why is the hamster back? He's supposed to be stuck in the future.
I've got one just like this packed away.
You can play Maniac Mansion.
Jeepers.
Yeah, you could have.
This door appears
Oh.
to be locked.
I'm just, yeah, it's surprising me you can go this far, actually.
This door appears to be locked.
What does this say usually what?
What?
Let the
Oh,
message
you can
say.
play Maniac Mansion, the original. But it doesn't work yet. Well, it doesn't work with Scumbium. It'd be pretty hard to program, probably. We're so big and strong now, we can push the candy machine.
It won't budge.
Fine. I can't wait to do this. Time to use bowling ball with ice machine.
I'd rather neat.
I'd rather neat. It is funny that you can fit in the fucking grandfather clock. I mean, how? I know you can.
Well, I mean, look at the chimney. It's in it, but it makes it stretch.
No time for that now.
Yeah.
You're actually too big for that hallway you just went through to the stairs, that is.
Time to open this off.
We need to leave the contract in there so I can get it tomorrow and send it to Hoagie 200 years ago.
No time to make a phone call.
Oh, wait, no, I'm wrong. The hamster isn't supposed to be there. This is yesterday. Right. The hamster is
This
not
door
supposed to be
appears
there.
to be locked.
Never mind.
Is or is not?
He is supposed to be there. Oh, I forgot to look at Chuck the Plant all this
Horticultural
time.
horror.
Chuck the
I
Plant is
can't
in a lot
touch
of
it. It's
games.
spiny.
I think you can get this again. That ruins tomorrow. For Bernard and Hoagie. We just created a time paradox.
Neat. Green, are you okay? Huh? I think he'll be okay here for now. We better not move him. Green, are you okay?
You know,
Huh? I think he'll be okay here for now.
technically, if you do prevent Purple Tentacle from going all crazy, you wouldn't need to have done the whole thing. So that's an
No,
even bigger
we have to
paradox.
turn off the sludge-o-matic first.
Yeah. Well, that's of course. That's
It's
weird.
really dirty. Someone wrote "wash me" in the dust. Some people think that
It is funny that
washing
you
one's
can just
vehicle
walk around
will
doing
make it
all
rain.
this stuff from the main game.
I think it's locked.
Do you get a sweet email when I start streaming?
No, but I don't have that set for anything.
You don't have that set up. I mean, I assume it did
It's
it,
already open.
but I just wonder if there's any chance it didn't for some reason.
Keep out. Area, it looks like pureed horseshoe
You
crab.
just got a sweet email.
I did? Oh, thanks. This is great news for me. This is great news for me. But anyway, now we're gonna win. We got shrunk down and we got the bowling ball. This part, I mean, it's so easy, but I'm okay with that. I like an ending that just makes you. I mean, you did all the hard work, you know.
It looks like a generator driven by a treadmill.
Yes, it does. I'm okay with
Dr.
it
Fred
being
is
an
being
easy
held under duress.
under duress. You can't go over there for some reason, which is fine. That's fine. I'm gonna save him right now.
Not my type.
Oh, really?
Dr. Fred, are you all right?
Attack.
Get me out of here! I feel like I'm pupating!
Impressive triangular formation. Excuse us.
What is it?
Did you try to pick him up and he made a date joke?
Yes, he made the standard joke.
Would you mind
Oh, I
helping
should
out
have
to
said
get
the
us some
three-headed
Chinese
monkey,
food?
obviously.
Nice try, but we're not budging. Now, buzz off.
It's funny they just
Excuse
stand
us.
there.
What is it?
It is, as I said, a difficult thing to create like a so-called boss fight in an adventure game. I don't know if you've anybody played Gabriel Knight. Well, anybody. Have you? Kieran hasn't. Gabriel Knight's one of the few Sierra games that doesn't murder you at every turn, but then you get to the ending and suddenly you just can die on every screen, and it's like impossible. And I know they're trying to ramp up the tension, but like it's a complete failure because you can't figure out how to do it all in one go. So invariably you just end up saving and loading every few seconds, and that completely destroys any kind of suspense or tension, you know. So
Look behind you. A three-headed monkey.
The only three-headed monkey here is in front of us.
oh, that's
Now,
easy. I never
buzz
even
off.
that there's actually three
Excuse
heads. That's
us.
an easy joke.
What is it?
A very clever, obvious joke.
Could you let us pull that lever over there?
No chance. Now, buzz off.
Excuse us.
What is it?
Which one of you is the real Purple Tentacle?
We all are, Dopey. Weren't you
Dopey.
paying attention earlier? Now, buzz off.
What if I try now?
Excuse us.
Buzz off.
Look, we're not letting you touch that lever. Now, buzz off. Watch it.
That's it. Watch it.
Watch it.
Do you guys want this help on its own?
Bribery won't get you anywhere.
All right.
I think it's a puzzle. He's trying to tell you to buzz.
Buzz.
Yeah, she does.
I don't think it's true.
Great! Now we can turn off the machine and prevent all this tentacle mayhem from ever happening.
Oh no, it's that guy.
Well, I'm certainly glad that's over with.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Leaving so soon? We haven't had the chance to get to know one another. You humans are so small-minded. Ha 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 ha!
Eek!
Shoots you right in the head.
Yeah, he always does. That's
Not
actually
all you like, you insignificant
it comes up
insect.
very shortly.
My other selves are taking over the world as we speak.
We can't reach it.
Can
We
you
better
just-
deal with Purple Tentacle first. We better deal with Purple
That's
Tentacle
good,
first.
That's fine. It's funny how they're just
He looks
all
a lot like
dead.
Santa, but not as friendly.
Oops.
I can't reach that from here.
What?
Not my type.
Pull him down.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
This is for you.
I'm not interested in your paltry offerings.
He looks a lot like Santa, but not as friendly. Are you really a future version of
They do
Purple
like to do
Tentacle?
these endings where you
Who else
just
would
chat
be
your way
brilliant
out.
enough to invent the diminuator?
Although that's fine. Because it's, you know, you can't lose. They do it in Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, but you can lose there, which is a little bit unfair. Or rather, you can get an ending, but it's a bad one.
How is it that you can grow hair without follicles?
It wasn't easy, but the secret made me very wealthy.
Are you sure you're a future version of Purple Tentacle?
I said I was, did I not?
Can you remember stuff that hasn't happened yet?
Naturally.
Could you give us some stock tips?
Don't invest in shoes.
Makes sense. The
Do
sharks.
ever have a winning season?
No, but the tentacles do.
No. Oh, man.
Do we manage to defeat you and save the world?
Of course not.
Bummer. Are you more or less intelligent than the Purple Tentacle from our time?
They argue
The same,
more.
but I've had 200 years to think things over.
Just what is it you have against
Yeah, I
humans
mean,
anyway?
they keep all the
Humans
dialogue
are our
options here.
oppressors. They made us live in this horrible motel. They created us in ungainly forms,
I think-
so we could not rise against them. Try walking around with your legs tied together and glue on your shoes. You'll see what I mean.
I think, so?
So?
You wouldn't understand.
Yeah,
Let's discuss your
'cause you can
hatred of
keep,
humans further.
What's to talk about? I detest the whole cackling, hand-wringing lot of you.
But humans created the sludge-o-matic, which made you super intelligent.
Nonsense. I created that myself and sent it back through time. I knew Fred's mad scientist ego would make him use it. How's that for a paradox?
It's a doozy, buddy. What? There's only one of him.
Who? Fred? But there's only one of him.
Right. Anyway, you can see why I detest humans.
I don't get that. Why did there's only one of him? Why did I say that? I didn't really understand the line.
Let's discuss your hatred of humans further.
What's to talk about? I detest the whole cackling, hand-wringing lot of you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they keep like pretty much all the dialogue
See?
options.
Soon the rest of the world will too.
You're pretty handy with that ray gun.
Center of the forehead every time. Would you like a demonstration?
I bet you couldn't hit your own forehead.
Nice try.
So there's like 2 hints in here. I just
We've
want to
got
say
to go
this.
save the world now.
Because they make clear that the
human
center of the
race is
forehead.
doomed.
Let's
But then you
discuss
can
your hatred
also
of humans further.
talk about how he hates
What's
Dr.
to
Fred.
talk about? I detest the whole...
Shush.
Sounds like you just hate Dr. Fred.
I suppose you're right about that. I didn't start out hating all humans, just Dr. Fred.
Why don't you zap Fred with the ray gun for a change?
Perhaps that would be entertaining.
This will go badly for him.
You don't take your word for it. I'll find out in about 20 seconds.
Rat.
Surely we can talk this out.
Oh, they just murder him, don't they? Well, not really.
Talk?
Surely.
Wait. You haven't heard the last of me. I'll be back, and the next
He even
time,
talks
the world
faster.
and all its piffling
For
inhabitants
some
shall be
reason.
mine. All mine.
Yeah, I think this whole ending sequence is pretty charming and satisfying.
All mine.
Okay,
The
little
way you
fella.
get him to shrink.
Mail
and all.
this to Siberia.
Siberia. Then the sequel to this game is Siberia, and Siberia 2, starring Kate Walker as boring protagonist, and asshole robot as terrible. Asshole robot. I'm sorry if you weren't in the chat
work here
earlier.
is
You
done.
missed my
Now
9/11
we can
comedy.
go home.
He'll get big in like 5 seconds.
Well, he's gone now. It's fine. But he's been put under a shoe.
Well, kiddies, it's been
No,
more fun
this
than
is
a
clean
jumpsuit
water.
full
No.
of weasels. Now, kindly get your freakish hide out of my home.
Please, Dr. Fred, you've got to get us out of this mess. We look terrible, and we can't buy clothes off the rack.
I think this is a funny, stupid joke.
I'm getting sort of used to it. Maybe we could go on the talk show circuit.
Help us, Dr. Edison. You're our only hope.
That's from
Oh, all right.
something popular-ish underground sci-fi film. Cult classic.
Idiots! It seems you're not exactly the
Idiots.
sideshow attraction you imagined. You're just 3 complete goofballs stuck in one suit of clothes.
Idiots. Surely they would have had their legs would have been cramping up and stuff. It's fine. This part is quite erotic.
Woo, I can't wait.
Well, I'm glad that's taken care of. Looks like
Hurrah.
everything's back to normal.
Oh yeah, I love this a lot. That's my favorite. I think it's great. Because as I said, the whole game is about causing chaos, and I like that though you save the world. You've done damage that will never be changed. You know, fairly significant damage in some capacity. Also, I guess everybody has a vacuum cleaner in their basement. Although, why does one never appear in Dr. Fred's basement in the present time? Plot hole, you guys. Hooray! Hooray!
You beat the
Hooray!
game! You did it!
I cheated?
No, you beat the
I
game.
beat it.
I didn't
You can
think
never
you
beat
would.
the game. That was good. I think this game is still good. Opening fixed by Hal Barwood. Interesting. I wonder if I should come back and play this when the remake comes out. I might. Because it's the kind of game, you know, I don't really like to play games I've never played before on stream, because as I said, it's hard for me to focus on just the game. But I do want to there's stuff I'll replay for sure. Yeah, nothing said about it at E3 still, to my knowledge. One thing I did realize today about this game, there's something I always notice in newer games where I go, you know, newer games are kind of simpler, because to me, in my mind at least, it's always felt like the one of the staples of old school adventure gaming was the ability to combine items in your inventory. But you know what? This game doesn't have that shit almost at all. If I'm not mistaken, if anyone remembers anything else and wants to correct me, if I'm not mistaken, the only time you combine items in this game is when you put soap in a bucket of water.
Hamster sweater.
Oh, and you put the sweater on the hamster. Is there anything else?
Coin and gum, or is that separating?
That's separating. Yeah, it's like, it's to the point that it's almost, it should probably either be, it should be in there more, frankly, you know, because if you can only do something once or twice, you forget about you can do it. They should do it more, but I have this feeling that secretly combining items is one of the shittiest adventure game staples out there. I think it probably kind of is. I like it in concept, but I think most of the time, unless it's really obvious, like I'm going to put soap and water together, that's the doy. Unless it's really obvious, most of the time you're MacGyvering some freaking nonsense together, and it's just craziness, you know? Like the way people usually do it is that if it's icon-based inventory, which pretty much all are these days, then you know, you put stuff together that kind of looks like a stick. That's a nice word, more than one game, like a stick and a string and a hook. You know, you make your own fishing line or something like that.
Really cliche, yeah.
Yeah. So what'd you say?
I said that's the super cliche.
Yeah, that's I feel like it's in a bunch of games, and then you need some kind of bait or whatever. But
or sometimes just to reach something, not
right.
even just trying to actually fish.
Right. But I think most of the time, that's where you get to the point in games where you're just using every item on everything. That's like the cliche of adventure games when they're shitty, is use everything on everything that's in your inventory. And I feel like it's because combining items is rarely a well-designed puzzle, and it's rarely intuitive, and it's rarely, like, you don't feel like, oh, I know what I'm doing here. You're just fucking slamming stuff together. So I think it's only 2 times, but I don't know. Yeah, that might be it, in which case... The soap and water I'm fine with. Whatever. The hamster's okay. There's nothing too weird in the item combining. A game that's actually... I would maybe one day play a bunch of other LucasArts games. I mean, I don't... James, my friend, really wants to play Curse Among... But, he lives in England. And we have an issue. I know other people are kind of more okay with this, like someone Skyping in. We don't really like doing that kind of thing because the audio quality for, the person on Skype is markedly lower than the other person's, and it bugs us. But he and I both think Curse of Monkey Island is like the other really well-designed adventure game. I genuinely, like, in terms of conventional adventure games, point-and-click style, I really kind of think it's this game and Curse of Monkey Island that are amazing, and the rest, there's so many caveats you have to make to say this game is playable, this is what's good about it, but it's too hard. Play Pepper's Adventure in Time. I might play Pepper's Adventures in Time. I wouldn't be against that. I haven't seen it in a long time. It'd be kind of new for me because I haven't done it in so long.
Is that the one that you call the Hintland for?
No, I doubt it. I think I got that much too late for that to be the case. You can't lose Peppers. Can you? You can't die. Maybe you can hit a few... I don't know, it's a kid's game. But it is one of the better series. Games I actually really want to play... I really want to play King's Quest VI, because King's Quest VI lives on in my head as the single best King's Quest and actually a very good game. It's still got deaths and a lot of unfair bullshit, but that game, in my mind, does stuff narratively that I am just so impressed by that I don't think any game has tried to go to those lengths ever again. and I want to try it, and it might be a rude awakening because a lot of Sierra stuff is really, sadly, not good anymore. But 6 was also most largely written by Jane Jensen, who did Gabriel Knight, which is one of the most fair Sierra games out there. So it adds up a little bit that one might not suck. And I also really want to play King's Quest VIII, the shitty 3D one.
Your version?
Huh?
Your version?
Oh, no.
With the pictures.
That's right. Yeah, used to be able... Yeah, whatever. I don't want to talk about it right now just because I am going to put this on YouTube and I don't want to stray too far. But I do want to play King's Quest VIII because the thing that's so weird to me about King's Quest VIII... This is straying, sorry. It's just going to be this screen and me talking for a while with this beautiful music. But King's Quest VIII, it's so weird to me that I'm seeing people now on like Tumblr and stuff going like, this was my first game! And they have this like amazing nostalgia for King's Quest VIII, and I'm like, this was a massive disappointment for so many of us. But the music is better than I remember. There's some music I really like in that. There's one song specifically that I really love, and then there's some other nice music. And I just, in general, I want to know if, like, was it just such a big step down from what we were expecting? It was just not a point-and-click game. Is that what made us mad? Or it had all these load times, which would now be not a problem. But I suspect it's just a shitty RPG, basically, and it's really not that good. There's something enticing to me about the shitty, old-school, drab 3D graphics. I look at it and go, I kind of want to play that piece of shit, and I don't know why.
I never got around to playing that or King's Quest 6 either.
Oh, 6, really?
I never played either of those.
Oh, wow. Well, if we did 6, that might almost be something to play with you, because then you could see what you can figure out. I don't think it's so bad to have a Sierra game and to have somebody helping you along, because Sierra games are not fair.
Well, I am a Sierra veteran. Not as much as you, though, but...
No, what did you play? I guess Space
Quest. I had
Quest
King's Quest 5.
5.
I got it first, and
Someone told you King's Quest 7,
help.
I think.
That's what our entire friendship is based
Oh, right,
on.
5, of course. Yes, that's right. Yep, absolutely. King's Quest...
I did play like 1, 7, and also Space Quest. I think I played all the Space Quests.
I would like to... One of the things I just want to say, too, King's Quest 5, when I put this on YouTube, I'm not really editing these, but I want to just put this image up because it makes me laugh so much. King's Quest 5 is a ridiculously unfair game. I would play it again just to show that it's a pretty game, but here's all the fucking problems with it, except for the fact that everybody's played King's Quest 5 because it's a joke, and everybody likes to laugh at Cedric, and it's hilarious, but everybody's done it. But one of my favorite things about how ridiculously unfair King's Quest 5 is that on the back of the box there is a screenshot that is a lie. It is a shot of Graham, much, much bigger and more detailed than he ever looks in the game, sauntering on a path, right towards the end of a path. It's the Harpy Island, and in the real game, it kind of looks like a path. That is a drop-off. You just die. He is walking casually towards death, meaning before you even started the game, or possibly before you've taken the box out of the store, the game is giving you hints that are misleading you to kill you. Before you even bought the game. It's lying to you and tricking you. It's amazing to me. Yeah. But anyway, regarding LucasArts, Curse of Monkey Island, it's very good. I would, I kind of want, my friend kind of wants to play that. I would probably I played Sam & Max not that long ago. I'd play Sam & Max just to point out how it's really not very good. I think Sam & Max is very funny. I didn't think it was funny as a kid because I didn't get any of it, but I think it's funny. Sam & Max Hit the Road, obviously, I'm talking about. But it is like the opposite of it's cartoony as hell, but it makes no sense. Most of the time, it makes no sense. Max is a wild card to just use him on shit, and sometimes it works, but that's a bad puzzle. He is, I described him today as a crowbar plus. Like when you think he can do anything. Sometimes he can, sometimes he can't. Why? The rhyme or reason to it, there isn't any. There was another game I thought. I don't know. The other stuff... Yeah, King's Quest. And then there's just stuff I play again because I love it, and I don't know, I probably have loads to say about it. I realized I had today on Good Old Games, I have Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver. I love that game. I'll play that.
I'm just laughing because basically your backing track to this entire conversation is the ending screen
Yeah.
of this.
I know, it's
so with the music. So it's the music. It's somber-ish.
Yes.
What you're talking about.
But it's almost better than nothing. So
No, yeah,
might
probably.
have music. But anyway, I do want to say in general, I don't normally stream a lot. I never did it before. It was fun to do this and to have something to do with this all week. As I said, when I play games, it stops me from making stuff, which is not so good. I should say first off, before I even get to that, I should say this is going to be an article I'm writing about this game and why I think it's so well designed. I don't know when that'll happen because it's going to be really long, for one thing. I won't spend so much time talking about the keys on the door, probably. Maybe it'll be mostly 10 pages about the keys on the door. Maybe that's what it'll be. I am going to write about it. First of all, I'm sure it's going to be really long. Second of all, not too long, because I wrote a thing about Shovel Knight that was way too long. So... so it's supposed to be shorter than that, just to not make my editors go crazy, but also up to them when they put it up. And features, they often wait a long time. They might want to wait for there to be a good reason to put it up, like for example, maybe they're going to actually say, hey, the special edition is going to be released such and such date. Maybe they'll want to time it with that. But when it's up, I will link to it. If you're not following me on Twitter, I am Joetivational, Joetivational. Are you going to type it for me? Mm-hmm. Kieran's going to type it in the chat for me. I am. These are all going to be on YouTube. I've been uploading these. 2 parts are up. I'm going to put the rest up on Joe Plork, youtube.com/JoePlork. I am going to be putting these videos up, and I will certainly then, once the articles are there, I will put them in the description of those videos. I'm sure I will also link to these videos, or to the article on my Tumblr. So really, there are so many places. My Tumblr is it's just joematar.tumblr.com, I believe. So all of those things. The other thing is, as I said, I don't normally stream that much. I am okay, but it does feel nice to have a big stupid game. Like, King's Quest 8 is just in my mind going like, I should do that one. I don't know what I'm going to think about it. I think it's mostly going to be a bad game. It feels good to have a game to just kind of work through gradually. I don't think I'm ever going to do any, unless I have something to write. I'm probably never going to do one this intently and try to get it all done in 1 week. Maybe I'll, but it seems kind of sad to let the whole stream go dormant. So I might, my whole Twitch account, so maybe I'll try in the future to stream twice a week, or maybe it might be every other week. I don't know. I just have to weigh what I'm actually trying to accomplish, but otherwise I don't play video games very often these days, so it's really nice to actually do it. And also, come to think of it, when I don't do anything else except work on my other creative projects, my brain goes fuck, and I probably don't get much done anyway. So it's nice to yammer into a void and have the void occasionally type back to you.
Change it up.
Sorry?
Change it up.
Yeah, it changes it up, makes you feel... Of course, the other issue is I've been coming to Kieran's house to do this because his internet's better. It's a bit of a pain to drive here every time and do that, so... I can try it from home, my internet's shittier, but...
I can show you that thing I was talking about before.
If we wanna try, sure. But anyway...
Sorry for my unprofessional text.
Okay. You're welcome to chime in things you would be interested in seeing me continue to play in full. I might come on here just to play little things from time to time, but if you want to see me, I would vote, if you want to vote on, King's Quest 8, Soul Reaver, I guess there are a couple. You said Pepper's Adventures in Time. I'm not against that. I would have to download it. I think you can get it for free now. I own it, I think, somewhere, but it's on disc, for God's sakes. I believe ScumVN runs it. What else did I say? King's Quest 6. I don't know. I've got my good old games account, so there's a lot of stuff on there. Maybe I should close this down, since I'm going to upload stuff. Let me at least close the game, and this is where I'll cut it off on YouTube, but you should still be able to hear me for a bit. So, but anyway, thank you for watching Day of the Tentacle. There's an article forthcoming. Again, it should. One cool thing, I guess. You know, if I can think of games to play too that I could then write about, King's Quest VI, I would gladly write about if it turns out to be the game I remember it to be. In a way, if this is of any interest to you, it's almost like a start to finish on the process of writing such a giant feature. If that's of any, not that it's an insight into how I do it and it's so amazing how I do it, but in that if you have any interest in writing this kind of game feature junkola, for which you get paid very little and it's not worth it, then you know it's one way to see it happen the way I bullshit on the internet, and then eventually turn it into a much too long article that isn't in the style of the way anybody else writes anything, because I ramble like crazy and write too much. But hey, whoa.
Pepper's Adventures Through Time appears to be very thoroughly abandonware.
Yes, okay. Well, Pepper's an option. Yeah, because I mean, I can always find a way to pitch something to my editors about like a forgotten gem, or why, you know, Pepper's Adventures in Time is like a kid's game, but it's completely a valid puzzle game. So, yeah, it's not impossible. I could play Pepper. Yeah. I don't know. There's other stuff. King's Quest 5, Soul Reaver. Not 5. King's Quest 6. King's Quest 8. I don't know. There's other adventure games I want to try, but I don't know. I don't really think I want to play Broken Age on a stream. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Thanks for watching this. I'm closing the game down. You'll still be able to hear me. Thank you for coming to Lowe's.